and then you're going to look here.
All right.
All right, cool. So tell us a little bit about who you are and how you've been working with United Capital.
All right, my name is Jeff Belkora. I'm very happy to be here at FinLife Discovery Day. I spoke earlier this morning with Joe Duran, and it was a fabulous opportunity for me. I've just recently started working with United Capital. I'm a decision scientist by training, and so really the consonance, the resonance between what you all do and my area of expertise is it's 100% overlap. So in particular, clarity, control, and confidence, those are the buzzwords, the watchwords for where we're trying to guide clients, all of us. I've been doing this work in healthcare, so if you can imagine patients coming to doctors, to surgeons, to medical oncologists, patients and families really facing serious illness. They're looking for the same three things: clarity, control, and confidence. And so as a researcher at the University of California, I've developed tools and techniques to guide them through that process. And I'm now talking to Joe and others about how we might translate some of those findings and some of that research into your world. So it was a great opportunity for me to be here and learn about what firms are thinking about as they consider joining the FinLife platform. And I was able to share a little bit of my work in science.
Was there anything? Yeah.
I'm just going to get them to move
Quiet.
a little bit.
You've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. No worries.
Okay. So meeting everyone today, was there any kind of like big insight, surprise, or takeaway, something that you're going to think about?
Yeah, there were several things I took away from the meeting. One is that there's this layer, foundational layer for the platform, which is simply the CRM system and all of the integration that's happened, the plumbing, if you want. That's a phenomenal value all by itself. So, if I were a firm trying to figure out if I were going to join this this platform, that would be like the foundation. And then building on that foundation to have all of the training and the, we sometimes talk about the wetware, what's in between people's ears as opposed to software and hardware, to know that you have team members who are really going to be responsible for training staff and advisors in the money mind and the honest conversations and all the things that are going to increase the intimacy with the client. That's steak on top of sizzle or sizzle on top of steak. I don't know, depending on which angle you're coming at it from. There's just value piled on value, piled on value. That was the major takeaway I had, is just how rich this platform is.
I love that. Can you say that more concise in a shorter way?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was like your strongest insight, biggest takeaway? What did you get from today?
Yeah, biggest takeaway, really two things. This phenomenal platform you have, it's got a technology layer to it, which is Salesforce and all this integrated CRM stuff, and integrated with all of the tools and technology. And that would be valuable enough all by itself. But on top of that, hardware and software, you've got the wetware, what happens between people's ears, and the ability to get trained on things like money mind and honest conversations and really make the client engagement so much more intimate. I think when you put those two things together for FinLife, it's really a winning proposition.
That's great. What are you excited about when you look at this?
I'm excited about the fact that advisors seem to be coming all over, for the industry to say, well, we want to do things differently. We realize everything is being commodified in terms of asset management, and so all we have left as human beings is the relationship. And that's never going to be commodified or disrupted if you do it right. If you really get intimate with your clients, you really have deep understanding, that's where you can become a problem solver as an advisor, and no one's ever going to take that away from you. So it really seems like there are people who get that and who are looking for FinLife to provide the platform to really enable their work as advisors with clients.
How did you become a decision scientist?
I became a decision scientist when I went to graduate school as an engineer, and there was an incredible program where I went to school. The Stanford School of Engineering had a program in decision and risk analysis. And it was like discovering, what I was born to do. I didn't even realize there was a field in that. I was there to get a master's degree in statistics, and I stayed for a PhD because I was like, wow, Statistics is a little bit drier and more quantitative. When you get into decision science, you're merging all of these different influences. You're really focused on the qualitative aspects of guiding people to good decisions, as well as sometimes the quantitative issues of helping them understand things like risks and benefits of different options.
What parallels do you see between the healthcare and financial services?
You know, there's such incredible parallels between the work I've done in healthcare for the last 15, 20 years and the work I'm now doing in financial services, starting with the fact that there's a consumer revolution in both areas. I mean, in healthcare, there's been paternalism for the last, centuries, right? Where people have looked and deferred to the physician as an expert. And now there's a recognition among patients and families that you really face two major risks. You're either at risk in healthcare of being overtreated or undertreated, and they're both terrible things. Well, it turns out the same exact dynamic is happening in financial services, that people are realizing that, as consumers, as families, that if you're not taking advantage of good financial services, you're probably being undertreated. But when you dip your toe into that water, there's some sharks out there who will take advantage of you with, unsavory fees and practices, and so you're also at risk of being overtreated. So what you want to find in both areas is Goldilocks treatment, just the right amount of treatment. And that really means, being a consumer and doing your due diligence and finding a professional who's going to co-create the future with you.
Is there one thing in your line of work that you've noticed or you've researched and analyzed that prevents people from making a decision that's the right one for them?
Yeah, there's several things that can inhibit really good decision making. I mean, one of them is the emotional flood from being in a crisis situation. So I see that a lot on the healthcare side. I think sometimes the emotions can be equally strong in the financial services world. And United Capital has got a good model with the fear and commitment and happiness money minds to really understand, okay, how does your mindset influence you and perhaps bias you in certain ways, in predictable ways, around decision making? So with that kind of self-awareness comes a system of checks and balances. It's not that you're going to, have to give up your personality to work with United Capital or to get well coached in financial services, but it's more how are you going to become self-aware and work with a professional who's able to provide those checks and balances. I call that critical reflection. You got to reflect critically on your decisions, not just kind of go with the first impulse.
Got it. Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, it's inspiring to work with. I'm just meeting. Let me start that again. Well, the last thing I want to share is just how inspiring it is to work with good people, who are solving great problems and turning. Let me do that again. What I'm trying to get at. So let me just say what I mean to say. Okay, yeah. Last thought is just from my day here. I finally got to meet a lot of people in person that I hadn't met before. I've been, interacting with United Capital employees and leaders over the phone, as we all do, over the video calls, all that kind of thing. And there still is no substitute for once in a while getting together in person. And so we had a great meeting in Dallas, and it's just good to know how many good people are at United Capital, really doing good work, advancing this mission we all have to guide people to good decisions.